We should note that the MTA did try to block the ads from going up, but it did lose that battle. There's now a debate in the MTA whether they should just forbid all political ads. But the ads are now posted in heavily trafficked areas in Grand Central Station and Times Square. By the way, the ad reads, "In any war between the civilized man and the savages, support the civilized man. Support Israel. Defeat Jihad." With us now, Pam Geller, a conservative activist who created that ad. She's the executive director of American Freedom Defense Initiative and Stop Islamization of America. And from Washington, joining us is Jim Wallis. He is CEO of Sojourners, a Christian group which works to build alliances among people of different faiths. By the way, in the coming weeks, the group will put up its own ad at subway stations promoting what it calls tolerance. The poster reads, quote, now, "Love your Muslim neighbors." We want to welcome both Ms. Geller and Mr. Wallis. Thank you for joining us this morning. Ms. Geller, let me start with you. Why did you do this? What was behind this?
Well, there were a series, multiple anti-Israel campaigns going up in the subway and in New York City Metro North. So our ads were submitted as a response to these vicious anti-Israel ads. My ad is accurate. First of all, there's no Islam in my ad. There's no Muslim in my ad. This is a city that was attacked by Jihad on 9/11. Not only 9/11 2001, but 93, the Cole bar. The beheading of Daniel Pearl was savage, if you saw that clip. Nicholas Berg, the slaughter of the Fogel family, a Jewish family in their beds in the middle of the night. The 3-month-old baby was decapitated. This is not against Muslims. I don't believe that all Muslims sanction jihad.
But it says Muslim savages, right?
No, it says in any war between the civilized man and the savage, support the civilized man.
But many Muslims, many people that are not Muslims even, are saying, you're suggesting that Muslims are savages.
No. But I'm not saying that, so I'm being accused of a thought crime. It's very clear. There's no ambiguity in my ad. It's jihad. And it's a jihad against Israel, and it's a jihad against non-Muslims in Muslim countries. But it's specific. It says jihad. It does not say Islam, and it does not say Muslims. And I do not believe that jihad is a race. And I do not love what happened on 9/11, and I will not embrace what happened on 9/11, and I will not embrace the subjugation and oppression of non-Muslims in Muslim countries.
But you knew, didn't you, that this is a, powder keg issue, and that by using a word like that, you're likely to spark, it's retribution, anger from peace-loving people even.
So truth is the new hate speech, and we are going to reward Islamic terrorism and Islamic extremism by curbing our free speech. No.
That's not, no, Ms. Geller, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, did you know that you were, throwing a match into a powder keg?
No. I submitted these ads in September of 2011 when the anti-Israel ads were running in the subway. It took this long to get them up. The judge ordered them up this week. I didn't know that. And again, this is an abridging of free speech, or the suggestion of abridging our free speech so as not to offend savages. And I think this is a critical issue, because what we're discussing here essentially is the blasphemy laws under the Sharia. Under the Sharia, you cannot criticize Islam. And what you're seeking to impose here is the Sharia. Now, you may say that's a stretch, but it's not. This is the impetus behind the anti-freedom riots that are going on across the Muslim world. And as far as other ads saying we love our Muslim neighbors, I agree. I mean, I don't believe that all Muslims sanction jihad. I think many Muslims in America ran from jihad, because who has experienced more death than moderate Muslims and secular Muslims in Muslim countries?
So why not approach that then, if you want to just attack the fundamentalist Muslims, which I think that most people would want to do? Why risk alienating the people that much of the world, certainly the Obama administration, the United States foreign policy says we have to bring into the fold moderate Muslims. Yeah. You're alienating them as well.
I don't know why I'm alienating them. I don't believe they sanction jihad. I don't think that's what our policy is. We don't sanction the slaughtering of our troops on these attacks. Clearly, we are attacking. My ad is defined. My ad is very specific. Okay. My ad is defeat jihad. I am not in any way implying that all Muslims support jihad, but the attacks on me are implying that. That's what I consider to be the true Islamophobia.
Jim Wallis, let me bring you in. You have a different opinion about this, I take it.
Bill, this conversation is very sad. In situations of conflict like we're in now, words have consequences. So words of anger and hatred lead to violence. For example, this summer in Missouri, a mosque was attacked several times, then burnt to the ground. So the faith community put up billboards 5 blocks away from that burned mosque. It said, "Love your Muslim neighbors." In Wisconsin, six were killed at a place of worship while they're worshiping. So again, the faith community put up ads saying, love your sick neighbors. So in New York here, a leading rabbi wrote in the New York Times this week, this ad may be legal, but it's wrong and repugnant. To have this kind of language aimed at people will just make a situation far worse. So what we're saying is, I'm part of the World Evangelical Alliance. As Christians, we want to live in peace with our Muslim brothers and sisters. And so we're saying, when you remind people of their religious obligations to each other, in Jewish law, in the gospel, treat others the way you want to be treated. Love Muslim neighbors as yourself. That's what our gospel says. When you do that, you remind people and you bring out the best in them. This hate language brings out what is worst in people, and that's the danger of it.
Ms. Geller?
Truth is the recognition of reality, and I do not sanction jihad. And with a Nazi savage, could you not run ads during that war? There is a faction of Islam that is at war with us. And I certainly would expect our Muslim neighbors to support freedom and freedom-loving peoples. I do not see how tolerance when applied to evil is a crime.
Could we do both? Is it possible, Mr. Wallis, to do both, to have some sort of campaign against radical fundamentalist Islam and fundamentalists and violence that they may preach, and also to preach tolerance? Or are the two exclusive?
No, Bill, you raise a good point. Fundamentalism is a problem in all of our religious traditions, all of them. And you don't defeat fundamentalism with hatred, which they just use to recruit more for their side. You got to defeat fundamentalism from within. So I'm working with rabbis who are against this ad, and imams and evangelical leaders who say this is not the way to bring peace. We have to remind each other of our religious obligations to each other here. And this, I want to say to Ms. Geller that Christians all over the world are going to pay for this kind of hateful language. And I speak on their behalf, begging you to stop talking. Please stop talking, because so many people are going to suffer from this kind of hate language. If you want to save lives, Ms. Geller, please stop talking this way.
You say that's an infringement on your First Amendment rights, Ms. Geller. But he's saying, please stop, because it's going to...
He's saying, please stop talking.
No, he's going to say, please stop fomenting this.
He said, please stop talking. And I think that encapsulates this whole moment. Where was Mr. Wallis when the Christians are being slaughtered in Egypt? The Hindus in Pakistan. I let you speak, sir. I let you speak. You speak about extremism. I don't see Christians calling and killing in the name of Christ. I do not see Jews killing in the name of Hashem. We are seeing something different and very specific here. And by the way, the Sharia asserts authority over non-Muslims, unlike Jewish law, which pertains only to Jews, and unlike canon law, which pertains... I'm talking...
You asked me a question.
I let you speak. No, I'm going to say my piece, sir. Canon law, which pertains only to Catholics. Sharia asserts authority over non-Muslims. This is the problem in Muslim countries. Where are you speaking for the Coptics and the Christians in Malaysia, Indonesia, the Buddhists in Thailand, Ethiopia?
We have about 30 seconds left. Mr. Wallis, go ahead and have the last word here.
I'm a member of the World Evangelical Alliance, and we have spoken out this year against violence and discrimination against Christians in Iraq, Iran, India, all over the world. We have spoken all over the world to these questions. But speaking to these questions with hateful language is not the way to do this. So we are calling as Christians for hateful language to stop, and we should speak out truthfully.
It's a fascinating
for religious liberty wherever it's in danger.
Killing the messenger is not going to help you, sir. You're only going to make it worse if you shut down free speech.
A fascinating debate, and I hope we have at least lifted the peel of the onion off it for you at home. It is complicated, and obviously emotions run high on both sides. Jim Wallis in Washington and Pamela Geller here in New York, I thank you both for a lively, controversial debate. Thank you very much. This issue of free speech and the violence in the Middle East triggered by that anti-Muslim video certainly will come up in the presidential debates as we switch gears coming up. Hofstra University on Long Island will be hosting one of the 3 debates for a second time in the last 2 presidential debates and election cycles. What goes into putting on a presidential debate, and why should we even pay attention? We're going to talk to the New Yorker who is hosting that debate in the form of Hofstra University President Stuart Rabinowitz when we come right back. Stay with us.